Tell me when your loyalty is coming from the heart. Tell me when your loyalty is start with your woman or your man. With you, with your family, your friend. Or your loyalty yourself and the pain. So I said, tell me when your loyalty. You think anybody that you would die for, anybody you would die for, anybody you would die for, is what God for. Bottom. All I want to know is just get high. Loyalty, 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 loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Jennifer, switching sides, feel something wrong. Get black and shifty, you don't mind to be no more. I need loyalty, 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 loyalty. Believe it. It's not, it's 1.7. The voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women, 1.7. Voice of women, the voice of women. So women, 1.7. Are you a woman who is keen on breaking the bias? Are you looking for a welcoming community with a strong support system that empowers the female gender? Do you need a safe space that is candid, original, and authentic like the queen you are? Then this is the program for you. Tune in to Real Women Real Talk with Kiki Okiwale on Women Radio 91.7 FM every Friday by 5 p.m. As Kiki Okiwale brings on different leading women who will give you a bite into their growth journey and how they beat all odds to become who they are today. Real Women Real Talk. Hello, my lovely. Yeah. Welcome to another empowering episode of Real Women Real Talk with me, your host, Kiki Okiwale. How are you feeling today? I'm particularly excited. And I'm not just excited for myself, I'm excited for you as well because today is extra special. The space where we take off the mask, soften everything into truth, and remember who we really are. I'm super grateful for the gift of amazing people. And today you're going to share my joy, right? But before that, I would like to ask you, how are you? And I mean truly, not that how are you and you just say I'm fine. How are you truly? How's your mind? How's your energy today? How are you taking things? I hope you're taking it easy. And we have a super woman with me today who's very big on you taking a deep breath. And so I'd just like to say, take a deep breath. She's taught me various ways to take deep breaths, and trust me, it helps me all the time. So hopefully, I'm not sure, because today's topic is kind of different, but maybe, just maybe, she'll be able to teach us one or two ways to take a deep breath that really helps us in the hustling and the bustling and how everything is moving so fast. Okay? But truly, I want you to know that you are doing better than you think. You are doing better than you think. Okay. So you made it to today, and that itself is a victory. So I'm grateful for the gift of you. I'm thankful for the gift of you as well. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I always say this: we are women first, before all the titles, before the degrees, before the demands. And sometimes we need a sacred pause to just be, to just breathe, to just listen, to just feel, to tell the truth. That kind of environment really helps us become better people, for us to be whole again. And I know that sometimes, a couple of people have said, Kiki, is somebody that has enough that is trying to be whole again. But I disagree. Even though things might not be, you might not be where you want to be,
but you're far from where you started from, and you're still here. And it just means one thing: there's still a purpose that you're yet to fulfill. So that means, you are a big deal. So if you're just tuning in today, know this: you didn't land here by accident. You're definitely in the right place. Now, today's conversation is one I believe every woman, especially every woman who leads, every woman who is aspiring to lead, needs to hear this. I'm here to learn as well. My notepad is here, my pen is ready, because we're going to be learning from gurus. Like, I am super excited, and you'll understand why in a bit. If no one has told you this yet, like I said earlier, take a deep breath. You're doing better than you think. Because running a business, building a dream, trying to make it all make sense, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it can be. It all depends on how we approach it. So I'm glad that you're here because it's about to get even more interesting. Have you ever sat in a meeting, had a powerful idea, a clear insight, something that could really shape the conversation or the narrative, but you stayed quiet? Have you ever walked away from a room knowing you had more to give, more to say, but you didn't? You're showing up, you're doing the work. People see you, but somehow your voice isn't fully in the room. And deep down, you know it. You know that you were created for more. You know there's more inside of you that you have to give. It's like moving, but not really making the kind of impact you know you're capable of. And that can really be disheartening. That can really be sad. You're asking yourself, is this it? Is this why I'm here? You know that there's a lot more for you to give. So today, we're putting the spotlight on something that often goes unnoticed, but comes at a very heavy price: the cost of executive silence. Hmm, that's it. The cost of executive silence. Is it fear of being misunderstood? Is it the pressure to be nice instead of being bold? Or maybe, just maybe, it's the belief that your voice doesn't carry as much weight. Growing up, a lot of us have been told, keep quiet, you talk too much, you do this too much. And growing up, you've just gotten used to keeping quiet. Let me remind you that your voice does matter. Silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it is expensive. It costs us influence, it costs us leadership, and it costs us opportunity. Because, sis, it's not just about being in the room, it's about showing up in your full power. It's about being heard and leading from the core of who you truly are. That's the win. And that's what we're reaching for today. And that's why my notepad is ready, because I am so ready to learn as well. So stay close, because this might be the wake up call your confidence, your calling, and your career have been waiting for. Once again, welcome to Real Women, Real Talk with me, your host, Kiki Okewale. Now, usually there's a lot that I say, but we don't have time today because there's a lot that we want to learn. Okay? But I would not leave you without sharing my quote for today. And my quote for today is from Malala. Speaking up isn't about volume, it's about presence, it's about power, and it's about purpose. I'll take that again because I love it so much. Speaking up isn't about volume, it's about presence, it's about power, and it's about purpose. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, and it certainly doesn't lead. That is from Lisa Nichols. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, and it certainly doesn't lead. So if you're just joining us, welcome again. You're tuned in to Real Women, Real Talk. And our conversation today is all about the cost of executive silence. At some point in every woman's leadership journey, she has to ask herself, what has my silence been costing me? You're showing up, you're doing the work, you're carrying the weight. But when your voice is missing from the table, or maybe muted to make others comfortable, there's a quiet price being paid. Silence can feel safe, but over time, it chips away at clarity, confidence, and even credibility. And the truth is, you can't lead fully when you're not heard fully. So today we are unpacking what it really means to own your voice boldly, intentionally, and unapologetically. Because executive silence doesn't just dim your life, it dims the impact you were meant to make. I am so excited. We're about to explore. So joining me today is Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede. I am so honored. A woman whose name is woven into the very fabric of Nigerian broadcasting. What an honor. She broke barriers when there were none to even follow. The first woman to read network news on national television. Her voice was not just heard, it was trusted. So trust me, she's the best person to talk about this today. She's an author, a trainer, a pioneer, and a media matriarch who has spent nearly 5 decades, you heard that right, shaping how we speak. I don't know if I'm speaking right, but it's okay. We get to know along the line because she would definitely give me as it is on. Shaping how we speak, what we say, and how we say it. I work as great state functions, international conferences, grassroots projects, and corporate boardrooms alike. I am so honored. Thank you so very much, Ma, for being here. Thank you for accepting, to honor us and to share from your wealth of experience today. Thank you, Ma.
Oh, okay. The pleasure is really mine. I'm really happy to be here. And well done for keeping this up week after week. It's a great job you're doing.
Thank you so much, Ma. And alongside her, carving our own powerful path is a woman whose magic lies in the transformation of others. She is not just a therapist, she is a mindset shifter. And trust me, she has shifted my mindset in multiple ways. She's not just a coach, but a catalyst, a storyteller, a producer, a content strategist, and a deeply intuitive soul who helps people take their lives back from the inside out. With decades of experience behind the scenes on some of Africa's biggest shows and even deeper passion for healing and wholeness. She is air. I love that part. She is light. She is love. And guess what? She is my soul sister. Adeola Kingsley James, thank you for being here again. What an honor to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm always so grateful to you.
Always an honor.
Support that comes from.
Thank you. All right. So together they are a masterclass. So are you ready? Because this is a masterclass in legacy and in leadership. Prove that power doesn't always shout, but when it speaks, it shifts things. Oh, and surprise, they also happen to be mother and daughter. Yes, that kind of greatness runs deep. So we're here to learn how to, pass it on to our children and also help them, craft their own path. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today on Real Women, Real Talk. It's such an honor to have you both here, and I am just so excited. If it's still Real Women, Real Talk on Women Radio 91.7. The phone lines are open. I'm not sure I would even have time to pick your calls because today is all about learning. But again, the phone lines are open. The number to call is 07000 917 917. We have a toll-free line for you ladies, and the number is 0800 1235 917. Or you can send a text or WhatsApp message to 07031756537 to be a part of the conversation. You can also listen via our website at www.wfm917.com or just download the mobile app, WFM 917. Okay, because of time, I'm going to dive straight into question because it is not every day you have mother and daughter. It is not every day you have. Honestly, this is my first time of having mother and daughter. I mean, my daughter has had me on a radio show. She does it every Saturday, and it was such an honor to be there with her. but having mother and daughter as a guest is a big deal. So, Ma, you've had an incredible journey from beginning the first woman to cast network news on Nigerian television to shaping future leaders, which I know that, I mean, I hope Auntie Tom is listening to me right now. She'll be like, Kiki, how did you get that done? How did you get Auntie Bimbo to be on your radio program? You know, so what does it mean for women in leadership to leave a lasting impact? And how can they ensure that their voices are being heard? And this question is key because a lot of women are getting leadership roles now, and sometimes we're so confused. I'm so confused. I was called upon to come and lead a particular company. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can do that. You know, so how did you do that? And you know, leaving such a lasting impact. How do we ensure our voices are being heard? Thank you, ma.
Okay, Kiki, thank you for that. Shall I call it a double-barreled question? And by the way, you're not the only one that has a notebook. I have a notebook with me too. And I love that quote that talked about presence, power, and purpose. That's
Malala.
So leadership. I think sometimes people confuse leadership with positions and titles. I think leadership is actually much more about legacy, and legacy to me is service. How have you led the way for others to follow? What type of relationship have you built with people over time? How have you shown up when decisions were being made in those boardrooms or in those special places? Did you speak up for others? Did you mentor the next generation? Did you on stage, uh, wherever, so that your voice can actually be heard, that impact can be made, and of course, there's no doubt about it. If we miss you on this, they talk about the roundabout and the swing. So if we miss you on the roundabout, we'll catch you on the swing. If we don't get you on radio, we'll get you on TV. If we don't get you on a podcast, we'll get you on stage in a conference and as part of a panel or giving a keynote. The thing is for you to be heard so that you can be remembered.
That is so, so, so deep. For you to be heard so you can be remembered. I like the part you talked about legacy is service. Oh my God. Legacy is service. I mean, that so resonates with me. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing from your wealth of experience. Honestly, the question is, have you mentored? My notebook is, I'm trying to write so fast, my brain is spinning because there's so much to learn and it's just the truth. How have you showed up? How have you showed up? And that's the $1 million question. Because the question is, are you truly showing up in your full capacity? You know, this is so deep. Thank you so much, ma'am. Adiola, you've been instrumental in helping people step into their greatness. I know I've learned so much. I've taken your courses. I've learned so much from you. I've stepped into my greatness. For women looking to take on more leadership roles, what are the first steps they need to take to build a mindset that supports powerful leadership? And I like this particular question because I know I had to take one of your courses this year, and it had a lot to do with mindset. And I don't want to be selfish. It's only fair that I share with the world and let them know the greatness that they carry inside of them. But I mean, if you don't tap into it, how then can you bless the world with your greatness if you don't even know what you carry? So tell us more about, the kind of things that women can do to build a mindset that supports powerful leadership.
So the first thing that I'll say is this. A true leader is someone who at some point that is not needed. Let's start from there. So when they say when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. The statement ends as when the student is really ready, the teacher disappears. So my belief is that God is God based on the amount of gods he creates, not the amount of followers he creates. So I'll start by saying that, which then means that you are depositing yourself in other people so that they can do exactly what you do without you being there.
I'm definitely catching the river.
It starts with a powerful self-concept. So what is it you believe about yourself? And what is it you are ready to drop that you are willing to believing about yourself? Because every woman must confront that inner script that says that I'm not enough. And rewrite that inner script from I'm not enough to I was born ready. And this is a muscle. It's a muscle, sis. It's a muscle. If you do not think, everything starts from self-belief that I can do something. Because the truth is, if you also believe that you cannot, you cannot.
Absolutely.
So your mentality, which is a little deeper than your mindset, is more important. Because your mentality, I see it as limiting beliefs and the stronghold, the roots. Mindset is like your fruit. And your mindset can be changed per time. But your mentality is the stronghold. It's all your beliefs, it's all your behaviors, and all the things that happen to you naturally. So for us to be able to build powerful leadership, we've got to start to rewrite some of the scripts that they said we were.
Absolutely.
Whenever I ask people, who told you are shy? How do you know you're shy? Well, we say it boldly. How do you know that you're an introvert? How do you know you're an extrovert? If nobody ever said you couldn't do anything, who are you going to be today?
Absolutely.
So I believe that when your inner world shifts, your leadership becomes inevitable.
That is so deep, gosh. And when the first thing you said, a true leader is someone who at some point is not needed. And in that few minutes, it just flashed how for days I don't go to work. I go to work and they're like, what are you here for? Like, why are you here? Go to focus on your new project. And it is just so true. People are giving me feedback and saying things like, oh, I bought this, it was so good, your customer service. I'm like, I'm not even there. I'm not even the one responding to you. But the feedback it feels like they're talking to me. And listening to you now, it just it clicks. Create leaders, build leaders, and not followers. Unfortunately, Instagram calls people following us followers. but they should really be, honestly, it is so deep. Now, I missed out on something you said, and I want you to repeat that because that will really help a lot of people. Every woman needs to change the narrative that I am not enough to what? You said something, but I didn't catch it.
I was born ready.
I was born ready.
Born ready for.
Absolutely.
So anytime people ask me, are you ready? I'll say I was born ready.
I say that.
Easily now.
Absolutely.
Born ready. I was born ready for this.
That is interesting. Imagine what it would feel like to be in the presence of mommy Auntie Bimbo. I have to mention her name so that people listening will know, and yourself and other people, and just really listening to you and learning from you. I call it the 3 L's: lean on you, learn from you, and leverage on your wealth of experience. Imagine the way you would be loaded. And when I come here, I always share with my people because I always want them to know that, hey, there is good tidings, so you better tap into it. And I know that you have a program coming up. I need you to talk about this program. And the reason is this: a lot of people want to learn, they don't know where to, they don't know how. There's a lot of, how people say Google is your friend. Well, Google will confuse you sometimes. You will be so confused because you want to learn from people who have actually walked the path. And I say to people, honestly, you want a mentor. I mean, those that don't want to pay for mentorship, I can't really understand it. Because there is nothing like learning from somebody. It is just a short course. There is no reason for you to suffer the suffer that other people have suffered. Why? Is it that we have coconut head? Because I can't explain it. You don't have to. Learn from people who have walked that path so that you can, it's a fast track process. You go somewhere, and especially Nigerians, we are so much in a hurry. The traffic, you see people cutting corners. Why? Because they don't want to wait. So when it comes to your life, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your, what you want to build for yourself, shouldn't you actually invest? If you can do that in traffic, and there's a line in the restaurant, you want to cut the line and run to the front. But when it comes to your personal development, to your own growth, and you have somebody that can hold your hand, shouldn't you learn? Every woman who is a leader, every woman who intends to be a leader, every woman who aspires to be a leader needs to sit down and listen and say, C-suite executive, what are the things I need to be doing? How should I be doing? How should my voice be heard? How should I leave an impact that people will never, ever forget? Now, Auntie Bimbo, the events LI leaders don't blend in. They stand out. The name for me, actually, the theme is very deep. Because really, we weren't created to blend in. We were created to stand out. Why then do we try to dim our own light? Why then do we try to bury the greatness that we carry? And I use this example that some people are created as a Lamborghini, but they're still operating as a Kia Picanto. And it's just because of the fear to become the best capacity, the best person. And you're really like, God has created you for so much more. But, because of maybe fear, maybe worry, maybe what will people say? Because what will people say have killed a lot of people's dreams. And then the blending. Instead of you to raise your hand and speak loudly and boldly, when they ask you to talk, it's just like, I have nothing to say. But you know that you have a lot to say. So this program is designed to help participants elevate their executive presence, right? But can you talk more about having a strong executive presence, how it is vital for women aiming for the top, especially leadership roles? Because I know that I've had times in my life that honestly, I didn't come to the center stage. I myself stopped myself. And so I don't really focus on, somebody is the one stopping you. The question is, you yourself, are you not stopping yourself? I knew at that point that I was stopping myself because they were ready to shine the light right at me. But I said, no, I wasn't ready. I didn't feel I had the capacity to do that thing, even though people saw what I didn't see in me. So what is that thing that is vital for women aiming for the top, for leadership roles?
You see, executive presence is tangible and at the same time, it is intangible.
Hmm.
It's intangible because it is an aura. It is people's perception
Hmm.
about you.
Hmm.
It is an unspoken power. So all these things appear to be intangible, but then at the same time, they actually exist. So they are also tangible. It's an unspoken power. Um, it is the kind of it is an atmosphere. Let me use that word that precedes you. So before you walk into the room, your presence has preceded you. Before you walk into the room, your aura has preceded you. And by the time you walk into the room, even before you say a word, there is something about your calmness, about your coolness, about your confidence that speaks volumes about you. There is something that says, "This is where I belong."
Wow.
And so it's a mix, I would say, between warmth, confidence, and authority. It is actually that authority is unspoken, but it's very loud. I know it sounds, like a paradox, but it is unspoken, but everybody can see it, everybody can hear it, everybody can feel it. Now, I think it's especially vital for women because the world still seems to feel that women have to make maybe twice as much effort as men for them to be taken as equals. And so when you are aspiring to the top, you're aspiring for the top, you have to have that. Well, I will use the word that we've already heard this evening. You have to have that mindset that I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
I have worked hard. I have the right work ethic. I have the qualifications. I have the desire, and I deserve to be here. Now, you build it over time through your ability to communicate, through knowing how to harness the knowledge that you have, but also through sharing that knowledge with warmth and authority. So it's really not about being a perfect person because nobody is perfect.
Absolutely.
But you have that executive presence. You have courage. You are bold, and that what is the word I'm looking for? That let me say confidence. That confidence speaks for itself. If you put all those things together, then what you have is executive.
Wow. 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 I love that aura part because there's some people you just see. The aura is just even before they speak. And I'm literally just I'm trying to picture your words because I've met people, I've seen people, and even before they speak, there's just something. You can't really explain it. And I laughed earlier because you said authority and then unspoken. And it's so true. It's so subtle, but yet it's so loud. And you can't really explain it. Wow, my notepad is so filled up. Okay, ladies, you know that. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we only have 1 hour to do all of this. Imagine when you are sitting and listening from not just Auntie Bimbo, but I'll let Adiola talk about that, what the program is about, and everyone who is going to be there to share. You don't want to miss it. I definitely don't want to miss it. But before that, Adiola, you've worked with numerous high-profile individuals behind the scene. What do you think makes the difference between a good leader and a truly transformative leader?
Oh, that's such a good question. You know, I think there's something that the word that I'll use is the persuasion that they have.
Hmm.
There's something. So I think that, well, let me say, being a leader or being somebody in the public or public speaking has 5 reasons, or there's 5 reasons I believe that you, as a leader, or five attributes I think leaders must have that I've seen with a lot of top leaders. One, they have information.
Hmm.
2, they have instruction.
Hmm.
So they don't just inform you, they instruct you, tell you the things that you should do. And transformation is you taking part, in your own change. All of us are transforming.
Hmm.
So the first level is instruction, is information. The next level is instruction. The third level is that we're also able to entertain. They add humor to the things that they say. Now, if you have information, you have instruction, you have humor. So you have people laughing, you're sharing stories that people can relate with. And human beings, we all connect with stories, whether we like it or not. And it shows your humanness. I think the fourth thing is that they're able to bring it all together. So they're able to simulate all these 3 things and simulate their conversation in a way whereby you are listening, you are deciding to take action, you are laughing in the process. It might sound funny, but it's also deeply meaningful to you at the same time. So sometimes they even play music in churches. They do it all the time. This is the part where the piano starts to play. Because
and they
now you're trying to get into a place of movement. It's time for offering and tithes, my sister. And this one. So they play music for you, and we must learn from them. That's the truth. If you listen to, we actually should go and learn from the pastors on how to move people, because I think the last part, which is number 5, which is actually the most important part that leads us from 1 to 4, is persuasion. How do you persuade people? How do you make people to do things? Right? So I think every leader that to
you're breaking.
Yeah, they're not paying you, but you are getting up and you're saying, is there something wrong?
Okay, you're back. You were breaking a bit, but we can hear you now.
Okay. So I think the leaders that I've worked with have had these 5 attributes. And it's something that even when I'm going to speak and all of that, there are things that I have at the back of my mind, because anybody with these 5 powers is so powerful. If you can persuade people to change their lives, which then means that you have impact, you have influence on them, then you're a beautiful leader.
Absolutely. And a transformative one at that. Wow, that is so deep. Me, I've written that down before I go and do any speaking engagement. You know that every time we speak, my note is always full, and I don't shy away from it. I let the world know. It's true, because if you can't learn from people, they say follow who know road. If you like, go and follow someone that doesn't know, because this is deep information, instruction, be able to entertain, and then combine everything together. But final, if you do all of this and you're still not able to persuade them, then all of this hasn't worked. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Wow. Leaders, where are my leaders? I know you're listening to me right now. I know you're a leader. I know you intend to lead. And I know you want to be a transformative leader, a leader that helps other people become leaders as well. And honestly, sometimes it's not easy to be a leader. That cap that you are wearing as a leader can be very heavy if you don't understand the dynamics and how to manage it. So learning how to be a good leader, honestly, is very, very key. Now, Auntie Bimbo, with your wealth of experience in media and public speaking, what do you believe is the one quality every leader must possess in order to truly inspire and command respect? Because if you want people to see you as a leader, you don't, when somebody says, I'm your boss, I'm like, you don't need to say that. If you are truly the boss, you don't need to announce it. You command, the respect comes naturally as a leader, but there are traits, there are qualities you need to have as a leader so that people actually respect you as a leader. Please share with us from your wealth of experience, ma'am.
That is an interesting question, honestly. I'm actually tempted to two words come to my mind, but let's say that one will lead to the other.
Okay, ma'am.
I think that major quality that leaders need is authenticity.
Hmm.
And I think that authenticity comes from character, which is based on reviews that are tried and tested. That's why I said two words. Choosing between authenticity and character, I think they go together. They go together. You see, authentic leaders command respect because they are genuine. There is no pretense about them. They know who they are. They are not a photocopy of anybody else.
Oh.
And so, they can take decisions that they can defend because they believe in what they are doing. They believe in what they are saying. They have reasoned it through. And even if you disagree with them, they could still stand on their thoughts, their decisions, their beliefs, because it comes from them. Absolutely. It's not a clone from someone else. So they are authentic. Now, when we talk about character, we also talk about being accountable. We talk about having integrity. We talk about having a good work ethic, being honest, being transparent, having clarity, and being able to say yes when you mean yes. And being able to say no when you mean no. Because we have a lot of people who, well, maybe not a lot, but there are some leaders who speak from both sides of the mouth. So you're not certain whether this yes is a yes or it is yes. Or this no is the no. Or it is no.
Definitely no.
You have to be courageous and bold, and you have to be able to defend your decisions. And as I said before, that comes with clarity. So you're not. I think I mentioned this before. You're not perfect, but then you have been through a variety of experiences. You are present and you are consistent. And all of these actually go with authenticity, because it is when you're not sure, it's when you have cloned, it's when you have pretended, it's when you have copied that you float. You are in limbo. You don't know, you're not grounded. You cannot, they can't wake you in the middle of the night and ask you a question today, and 3 weeks later, ask you that same question. Your answer would be yes. It's really, really important. So, and these attributes, these characteristics, they are aligned with the values that you have. So that, I think, is what makes you an unforgettable leader. That these are the key qualities that kind of lead you to others and enable other qualities to support this one: authenticity and character.
I'd like to add something, if you give me permission.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think a good leader manages people, but a transformative leader moves people.
Okay.
And what makes the difference between these two is that there's emotional intelligence and inner alignment. Now, I've worked with leaders who built an empires but couldn't lead their homes. Because we think somehow that leadership is only in the workplace. But my question is, real transformation, I think, begins when you lead yourself first.
Absolutely.
So there's a self leadership that that comes, of course, with compassion, that comes with discipline, comes with vision. You can self regulate, you can connect with yourself, and that's when my mom says authenticity. That's when you can really connect with yourself deeply. Now, when you can do that to yourself, then it's easy for you to do it to others. You're able to lead other people because you have led yourself right. Most times, we think as leaders that we command people and they just fall in line. It's like our children. I used to say that. I used to think that you command your children, if they don't move, you slap them to answer you.
Now they'll ask you why. Why, mommy? Why should I do that?
Why? That's like the taboo.
Your hand is already going up. Like, did I ask my mommy why? How dare you?
Why? Just the eye alone, you already know that the slap that is coming after that eye. We didn't grow up knowing how to self-regulate, because even your tears, why are you crying? Now that you are crying, let me give you more to cry about. We grew up in such
Lord. I said a few days ago, then why did you have to go on that table? You want to break this table. And then, you know what? I will give you more reason to cry. It's okay.
What is interesting, Kiki, is this, that my children could not ask the question why, but my grandchildren,
they will ask you so many times.
I want to fear any option.
No, but grandmas, why do grandmas indulge grandchildren? No, we need to have a topic on that. Because they slap at the basketballs that we took.
Let me answer you quickly, because they don't own their grandchildren, they own their children. That's the difference. They don't believe they own their children, but their grandchildren, they don't own them. So it's their children that they behave anyhow to, because they believe that you own them. But their grandchildren, they believe they're stewards to they're stewards for their grandchildren, the owners of their children.
Oh my! What a shift, really. Honestly, but what an amazing explanation, truly. And I like the way you actually tied it to, it's not just, leadership isn't just about the workplace. And I totally agree with you. Because really, if you can't manage yourself as a person, if you can't manage the people in your home, your environment, and it's not just even about the spouse, your children, your siblings. There's a whole lot of management that is very deep, and sometimes it can even be deeper than the workplace. Because then you're being, one time somebody said to me and said, "Oh, now you are too proud, your shoulder is too up. I put diaper on you." And I'm like, I mean, does that change the fact that I should be able to say how I feel? And so it can even be more difficult for you to manage, even at home. So yes, being a transformative leader, you need to be able to move people in the workplace, move people in your home. And I like how you tied it to children, because again, now we're learning that there are some things that you want your children to do. You don't actually manage them to do it. You move them to do it. And when you move them to do it, they do it even better than when slap would have pushed them to do it. Because they're doing it from a place. God still help me, Sha, because this my hand is so fast. I am on a journey. I am here to just say I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey of transformation. And we know that we keep getting better. We keep learning every day. And now, when I do some things, my mom is like, "Oh, I wish I did things differently." I'm like, "You didn't know better. If I didn't know better, I would do it the same way you've done it." So don't be too hard on yourself. Absolutely. We're all learning. Absolutely. And, we're breaking the cycle. We want to make sure that our children actually see a different kind of environment growing up. And, we're so thankful to everyone who keeps teaching and, putting word out there. And I don't have a lot of time, but I really want us to talk about this event. Adela, this event is centered around refining communication. And now, refining communication, does it involve communication at home, in marriage? I don't know. Does it involve that? Because the communication that we need in marriage, That one is another. You know, marriage is one that you go in without, you collect certificate before you go and learn. That one is easy. Lord, bless my soul. Please, are they going to be teaching us communication in marriage? In fact, not public speaking, private speaking. Because I know they are teaching, I know they are teaching public speaking, but are we going to be talking about private speaking? Because sometimes the things that we say, when we go back and we think about it, we are like, did I have to say that? Why? Was that necessary? But you know, we are all a product of so many things. So we want to keep learning about communication, about public speaking. And when we say public speaking, it's not really, you don't have to be on a stage to be doing public speaking. Every time you open your mouth and you speak in public, it is public speaking. So how do you speak right? How can women leverage these skills to gain more influence? Because I know I've spoken in some places that opened doors of opportunities for me. It wasn't like I planned what I said, but apparently it aligned one way or the other. But it would be nice for you to already know the kind of reaction and the way you can move people with the way that you speak. You can gain influence in spaces that may have traditionally not been, easy for even men. Maybe spaces that men have dominated. And you as a woman, you want to dominate that space. The things you say, the way you communicate is very important. So tell me more about this event for the benefit of that person. I know you're listening right now. You know you need to be there. You know. So you better listen and listen well. Okay, over to you.
So that's why, the last thing I said was self-regulation, right?
Yeah.
Words create worlds. Your words create worlds. You remember God brooded over the earth, then he spoke. And the Bible also says there's power in the tongue. I put life and death in your mouth. Choose life. Right? So the words that we speak, and like you said, if you don't have to be standing on a stage to be, as long as you're speaking to one person and it's not you by yourself, it's a public speaking, right? And it's important for us to refine our voice. It's important to first refine our inner voice and then our outer voice, because what we should be looking at the end of the day is shifting and creating culture. It's not easy, but it's very worth it when we create culture. So public speaking is how we reclaim the rooms that we were once kept out of as women. Like my mom said, there was a time when, we were not able to do certain things in certain jobs. And you also said the same thing. And now women are showing up there. How did we show up there? It's by what you said, right? You sold yourself in such a way that the doors that were initially shut to you are now open. So when we communicate, we cast a vision. We disrupt old narratives. We command new possibilities, especially when a woman really finds her voice. It becomes really powerful from a place of wholesomeness, because sometimes we find our voices.
Adela, don't share too much.
We start to feel we don't need this, we don't need that.
Do not share too much, because we have 2 minutes. And in these 2 minutes, you need to tell me about this upcoming event. Who is going to be there? How people can register. I don't want to deprive people the opportunity to actually register for this. And we have 2 minutes. So tell us about this event and how people can actually register and why it is essential for them to experience this event.
Okay, so it is so important because at the end of the day, we have a deficit in leadership and in the kinds of leaders that we're looking for. Every time we're complaining about leaders, we're complaining about things, but at the end of the day, who's showing up and how are we showing up? This program is for that. It's to teach you, one, how to speak, but first how to speak to yourself and how to speak to other people, how to look, because there's a look. If they say you want to dress the way you want to be addressed, there's an aura, there's a personality that you want to create. Whether we like it or not, people are looking at us. So we can say, I don't care how they're looking at us or if people are looking, but they're looking. So how do you want to carry yourself in such a way that people definitely know that you are worthy of where you are without having said a word? And so I Oyenokwe as one of the faculty members. We have John Cena as one of the faculty members. Sorry, John Sinaya as one of the faculty members. We have Glory Edofian as one of the faculty members. I mean, she will show you how to position and put yourself out there in such a phenomenal and powerful way that people will start to call you. You don't need to call them. We have Bimbo Oloede, of course, who is going to be teaching us how to position ourselves in our speaking. And you have myself. I'm going to go from inside out. You have never seen such a faculty before, I can promise you, anywhere in the world. You have never seen such a faculty because everybody was chosen specifically and particularly for their expertise and their professionalism. And everybody here will change your life forever. After the 2 days, it's May 15th and 16th, 9 to 5. So it's a 2-day event. It's very immersive. It's very engaging. It's very life transformative. You've got to be there. And so if
how do we register?
It is, well, I can put, where do I type? Do I type the link or do I?
Okay, so it's also on your social media, right? So maybe share your social media page and they can take it from there.
Social media, yes. So they should come to, they come to my social media. It's Adeola Kingsley James on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me there and just send us a DM and we'll send you the link immediately. It's as easy as that. But you want to be here. Definitely. You want to be here. 2025 has to be your best year yet.
It got to be.
Has to be.
And you have to make that decision because really no one is coming to save us. You have to save yourself. And the time is now. There's never been such a gathering like this. I can assure you that this is the best place you want to be this year. So May 15 and 16, make it a date with yourself. Do yourself a favor and show up for yourself. Not just show up, implement. Okay? You're going to be leaving that place a new version of yourself. So make sure to follow our social media page at Adeola.
It's a hybrid event as well. I forgot to say.
Yes. Okay. So you have the hybrid and
you can join us online.
So you can join online and you can be there physically. I will put the flyer on my page as well, so that if you need more information, I will direct you to Adeola. But please do well to check our page, Adeola Kingsley James. I'm dropping this live on my social media, and a link will be added to it as well. I wish I can ask more questions because I know you all are learning, but I don't have time. They're going to whisk me out of here anytime soon. So I'd just like to say, Mommy Aunty Bimbo Oloyede, thank you so much. Adeola, see, let me tell you, Mommy is not only your own. No. I mean, everyone, imagine the force, mother and daughter. See the way I'm shaking here. What a force. What a blessing, Mommy. What a blessing you are. Thank you so much. I'm glad you did. And I hope when I invite you again, you will show up because I'm definitely bringing you back. Adeola, thank you so much for bringing Mommy, and thank you for being here. And thank you for such a program as this. Thank you for making it happen at such a time like this. It is needed. It is necessary for women to take their space and dominate. So it's our time. It's our season. Anyways, thank you so much for showing up. I look forward to next time. Bye, Ma. Bye, Adeola. Love you. Bye, Ma. All right, guys. Bye. Okay, guys. Wow, that was Aunty Bimbo Oloyede, powerful, deep. I mean, what a day. What a blessing. I'm so glad. I am so grateful. And I feel so honored to be able to have her on my top. Trust me, that's a big deal. That's things people pay millions for. You guys just listen free of charge. So you had better drop your heart for her and her daughter. Look at such a daughter that she has raised. What a blessing. All right, so I'd like to say a very big thank you to my executive producer, Rose Yusuf Kaiser, my executive producer, Tom Okewale Shonaya, and my executive assistant, Rosemary Ben Bassi. I will be back again next week, Friday. But till then, make sure you stay safe, stay blessed, and stay happy. I remain yours, Kiki Okewale. Bye for now.
You gotta get up and make a move.
Cause the world will never see you do you. No, they don't really care what you're going. So excited.
Baby,
You can hang on the billion.
you gotta give them what you got.
No,
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 not to say what you know. 'Cause you are strong. You are wise.
you are worth beyond a thousand reasons why.
And you can be perfect, baby.
There's nobody's perfect, darling,
Oh, no, 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 that's nobody in the world.
like you.
Okay, guys, there's definitely no one in the world like you. What an amazing, amazing, amazing session. I really enjoyed myself. You don't want to miss out on this program. Trust me, you shouldn't miss it for anything. Make sure you attend it, all right? I will see you there. Bye.